What's going on, guys? In today's video, I am going to speak to the actual vet behind the Knolsey channel. I'm going to ask him what happened, how the channel was formed, and how the hell it got so out of hand. Now, it's very important, guys, that there are a lot of people connected to this channel past Jon Mathis, and these people are all innocent. Because of the way the channel was set up, everyone was kind of in the dark without realizing everyone was in the dark, so to speak. Yeah, you need to give these people a break. The guy I'm going to interview, called Marc, is a top guy. I've spoke to him off the record. I've seen lots of proof that this man is the genuine article. He's not a Master Chief, and he never was. That was all made up by Knolsey, Jon. Okay, I'm going to let this interview play on because it's about half an hour, guys. I have edited little bits out where the gentleman I'm interviewing has said a couple of things, and he doesn't want them in the interview, as is his prerogative. So I'm going to honour this man's wishes because he's not a fraud. He really isn't. It was just Jon. Anyway, guys, I'll speak to you soon. Much love. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye. Right, okay, guys. So I'm sat here with a member of the back team at Knolsey's channel, and this guy is called Marc. Now, to give you a bit of background, Marc is a genuine veteran. I've spoke to Marc before this. The recordings happened. We've had a quite frank, honest chats. Marc is the genuine article serviceman behind the channel. And now we're going to have a conversation with Marc. Going to ask him a couple of questions. He's going to be honest. You guys out there, I'm sure you saw the original video, and any of you that will see this video will know this guy is genuine. Okay, so Marc, what was your rank and role in the US Coast Guard?
Mostly as an E5, but I retired as an E6. I trained in electronic technology, specifically weapon systems and navigation. I was a quartermaster on 2 different boats.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Jack Knolsey, or John Adams, has put himself across as Master Chief, leaving the service at an E10 pay grade after qualifying for E9 and then being boosted on medical discharge for Valorant service. Does that sound anything near like your service record whatsoever?
That's all untrue, and
So
the
you've never
E10
had.
is not a real position in the Coast Guard.
Brilliant. I didn't know that. So it's fair to say that your likeness and Jack Knolsey's likeness are worlds apart. I think that's fair to say from the claims that were made on YouTube and what you've just stated your service record is. Is that correct?
Affirmative. That's
So
100% false. Sorry if I'm cussing.
no, you're fine. You're fine. So Jon has purported you said he could borrow your likeness to create this character, and I think we've just established that the two people, fictional or not, are nothing alike. So
yeah, that's
your real
100%.
person and your real service is nothing like Jack Knolsey. Nothing like that at all.
Now that you say it out loud, it sounds like Jack Ryan, but stupid.
Yeah. So we can establish that the defense that you have backed this entire thing and you are the mastermind is utter tripe. How do you know Jon? I guess you've known him for years.
I've known him since like 2020-ish. I think it was like a Facebook group, and it was originally like an argument
Okay.
because he's kind of a dickhead when you talk to him,
Yeah.
and then he grows on you because that's what those people do. And you know, one thing I will say about John and Megan is that they are fucking persistent.
Yes, they are. Oh,
When
yes,
all
they
this
are.
broke out, it was like 4 a.m. here, and I already struggle to fucking sleep. I need medication on top of having to like set a very specific schedule where I need that order in my life. I feel like that's after leaving the military, that's what I needed to replace the military with, or else I was just gonna fall apart.
Okay, you needed your routine back.
Exactly. That's
Okay.
100% it, and I think any other service member that's listening right now can fucking relate to that.
I would suggest so. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So how did the birth of the channel come around?
I honestly didn't want a channel. I wanted just a safe space for people, and he convinced me that the only way to get that is through being online and being in the media. And the one specific reason I don't want my face or any of this revealed is I don't care to be online. I'm here for the people. I'm here for the friends. I want to play
Sure.
some video games and kind of not be in my world.
So, my understanding is that John came up with the idea of making this channel and asked to sort of to use your likeness to create this personality to lead the channel, and you sort of went, okay, to make, don't do it for nefarious purposes, we're going to make a safe space here. And basically what he's done is, from what I can see, is used that as a green light to then just create Jack Knolsey, and has gaslighted you into the channel becoming what it is. Is that a fair assumption, or am I being too
Yeah,
harsh on
and
John?
that's like I played video games with John, specifically like DMZ,
Mm-hmm.
but like I didn't. He kind of shooed me away, and on top of that, I've got my own life. I don't like Call of Duty really. I was doing it because I thought he was my friend, and
Fair.
that's what he wanted to play. But anytime, like, now that I look back, anytime that I would come into a space that he's already had like a squad there, he would mute them or drop them, try to move me to another channel, and like not let them reveal that he's fucking lied.
Right.
And part of yesterday with the entire team, the back end of his channel,
Mm-hmm.
we were all finding out that he was putting us in the dark with each other. And my wife and I had to go look up everything. Like, I didn't know about Spencer. I didn't know about the million different fucking identities that Megan has. Like,
Yeah.
I was finding out that he was avoiding me on Facebook by going on to his other fucking Facebook and then posting content about fake me, I guess.
My word. It's
Um,
so bad, isn't it?
no, and that's like I have I can count on my fingers and my fucking toes the amount of times I've met someone that is actually like that fucking terrible.
He's the worst human I've ever come across in my entire life, mate. To be completely frank.
Yeah.
So he claims that you donated money to SSS and these charities under a false name. Is that true?
No.
Wow. Okay,
I
so
just had to here's the thing. I just had to pull out of my retirement. I went on leave without pay. I've been in the
right,
hospital since April 25th,
bless
and
you.
we'll touch on that later
Yeah,
because he's sharing my fucking x-rays and my fucking MRIs, my fucking medical files that I stored on my Google.
yeah, he has. He sent those to me.
And that's not fucking okay. Like, I have trouble getting my own fucking medical files to take to the fucking VA, and this guy's fucking sharing it with the world.
Yeah, mate. I'm gonna hand it out like a cheap commodity, bro. It's your personal data, bro. It gets worse, with every stone I unturn, looking after this after this guy. It gets
Yeah,
worse. That's another crime he's committed there,
there's a bunch.
and
It's
there's
not just
nothing. There's
one.
nothing
Like,
to him.
looking back, like, look at the fucking insurance fraud from the first fucking charity stream.
The threads just keep pulling, my friend.
Like, I'm trained as a boarding officer to pick up on bullshit. You do your initial investigation, and this is the thing about the Coast Guard that I didn't share at the beginning.
Mhm.
We are tiny, and that means that every single person on that boat is going to be trained to take over anyone else's job.
Oh,
You
okay,
know, and that's why we have three different boat crews for a 19-man crew, including four officers.
okay.
It's
That's crazy.
the only thing about the Coast Guard that is like unique and different is that any NCO can command a boat or a ship. We are the only branch
Really
across. Yeah,
interesting. So, a non-commissioned
we are
officer
the.
can take control of a boat. That's cool.
Yep, there are cutters, like the Coast Guard cutter Sea Otter. in patrol right now with senior chiefs at the helm.
That's really good.
And
It's
you know,
interesting. This is
those are
interesting for me because I don't know. Like, I don't know very guys. Those who listen, I know very little about the US Coast Guard specifically. Anyway, it's really interesting to find out that these little niches within the military structure. Sorry, it's just the geek in me, I guess. Sorry,
no,
it's eye
you're
opening.
you're good. I have learned to love my British counterparts. You know, we rotate training missions. For me, they're quartermaster navigational drills, right?
Right.
Um, and that's part of my structure for how I need to build my career. Because you know, you have a career coach. Every single person in the military has a career coach, and if
Mm-hmm.
you are shitty, that means that your career coach is shitty. So that's part of a box I had to check was deploy to other countries, train them on how to navigate specifically in combat, and how to find people that don't want to be found.
What I find really amazing about speaking to you is that you are fluent in what you're saying. You are sure of what you're saying. There is no in, no are in. Like when I spoke with John, it was all the time. Stumbling
It
over
was dog
words.
shit.
Yeah,
Like
because
I'm
it's all lies,
sorry, but
bro.
that's what it was. Like,
He,
whew,
yeah, he
man,
has, mate. I'm going to tell you what I think. Okay, I think you met this guy a couple of years ago, and he has been leeching your mannerisms, the way you sort of hold yourself, because he speaks in very similar cadence to you from what I've noticed. I think he has sucked up all your personality and what he knows about you. He's garnered over the last couple of years until this channel came to the point where it could come to fruition. Because he's told me he's been trying for 18 months to get to this point. And I think that 18 months has been learning everything he can about military background. So when your idea of this really nice channel came to fruition, he could just pull the rug from under you and gaslight you into becoming this Master Chief. Putting you in the lower rank as well, which I might add, which is another story altogether. But I think
yeah.
he pulled
The
this
timeline
all.
doesn't add up either. Like I've never
No,
seen a Master Chief that spent less than 15 years.
he did it in 14, apparently. Fastest Master Chief of all time or something like that, bro.
Yeah, and that's including like you know the rates that no one wants to go, including like cooking.
Yeah, it's just all lies, mate. And I think he's taken parts of your true service that he knows about from private conversations that you've had with him and embellished into those stories stronger things, or he's just made stories up based on locations in the world that he knows you've been, I think. Because
I think
he's,
that
bro, you, according to
he's
him,
like thrown a fucking dart.
you two didn't catch bin Laden because you were on a day off.
That was in 2010. I joined
That's
in 2013.
that's what he told me. You and bin Laden didn't get, you and him didn't get to bust bin Laden because you were both on a day off. I'm
I wasn't
deadly
even old enough
serious,
to drink.
bro. I know. That's what he told me, bro.
I'm 33 right now,
Oh,
or
bro.
sorry, 34, about to turn 35.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just one of the stories, mate. And it's like Jack Knolsey's wife is a Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Is your wife a Black Hawk helicopter pilot, bro?
my wife
Yeah.
is she
She's not.
works for a public defender's office.
So she's not a Black Hawk pilot then. Jack Knolsey's wife is. Again, not your
No,
likeness.
no,
Exactly.
I'm terrified of her, but no, she's not a special forces fucking pilot.
I'm assuming she doesn't sell her images on the internet.
No, and that's you know
Jack
that's
Knowles'
another
wife does.
thing that was friction in me and John's um friendship was my wife was I've so many times politely turned down joining that OnlyFans. Like I don't want to see your wife naked. I'm sorry, but
No, I don't.
like
It's
please
vile.
fucking respect my wishes. And no, like she continued to push it over Discord to me and over Facebook. And like, hey, show some love. And I'm like, I already show you guys love by paying for your husband's phone.
Oh my god.
So
Oh, dude.
like,
So
and that's the thing. Like, I will do that. I will do that for a fucking complete stranger. Anyone that fucking knows me and has been around me long enough will tell you that.
I've been shown receipts from a community member of yours that have wired him $750. Have you ever had any knowledge or seen any of that money, bro? How have you been in contact with any of the AdSense accounts or anything like that from the YouTube channel?
No, I only hemorrhage money to the YouTube channel.
So you've only put money in. You've never taken a cent out.
We've all only put money in. We've been
Wow.
buying him fucking computer parts and fucking stogies and all this. And by the way,
Unbelievable.
if you're having back surgery, you can't have nicotine. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my word. So he's basically milked everybody that he can around you, and you've been nice enough to try and support this guy because you believed in what he was about to build, and then he's just basically pulled the rug from under you all and made out to be this complete American hero. And
Like,
then he's tried to blame you for it.
yeah, which like makes no fucking sense. I probably was his last fucking ally.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm going to clarify this during the conversation while I've got Mark on here. This conversation has been very difficult for Mark to do, and he's had a lot of courage to come and speak to me privately for this call, agree to it to be recorded, and if he hadn't, Jon Mathis would have steamrolled this man and tried to make it all his fault, because he already did, guys. He's already said this entire thing is Mark's brainchild. It's not. Mark had a good idea. He didn't want to be the face of it. I understand that. And if it had stopped at your rank and he hadn't embellished all these stories, it just would have been the premise of the channel that it's backed by a man with these credentials. Everything would have been tickety-boo, I believe. I don't even think Stolen Valour would have occurred. But what's happened is he's gone above and beyond that, and he's committed stolen valour by using a lovely idea that you had put together with the goodness of your heart. And that's what I fundamentally believe after speaking to everybody in your community.
Yeah, it fucking hurts, man. Like I'll be honest, like all the fucking signs were there. It's like any other fucking abusive relationship that you'll ever put yourself through. You continue to enable because you care about someone. And unfortunately, some people just are beyond being people, human.
I've experienced it myself, mate, but I'm sure that you may have experienced it in this position, is where you are just too dumbfounded by what you're seeing that you don't know what to do.
True.
Because
I've seen the worst that humanity can like offer you. I've seen some pretty shitty people. I've had to jam up some pretty shitty people, and like even they were more honest to me.
yeah, I believe what you're telling me. I do. I believe the medals are yours, and I believe he sent those photos around and posted them without your consent. I know he sent me photos of your x-rays and stuff. I believe you're an innocent man in this, and you tried to do something extremely nice, and he has tainted it and gone to the 10th degree. I've discussed it with you that I've reported to the FBI, and they will want to speak to you. I hope they see it the way I do, and that you are not at fault here. You had an idea, and this man went overboard with it.
Yeah.
The only thing people could argue is maybe you could have rang the bell earlier, but I think you were having trouble with doing that. As I've spoke to many people in your community, and they all worried about ringing the bell just in case they were wrong. I know you were the only one that knew it was wrong, but again, it's difficult to go and ring that bell. It's a hard thing to do, and big love
That's the thing.
for
Is
this.
like every single time that we would think or know something is wrong, he would badger us against each other, and like we just person after person getting burned by this guy, and then like the go-to is, oh, that guy's the fucking fastest, or a bootlicker, or whatever the fuck you want to say. Like none of it's true.
No,
The truth is the truth.
the truth is that you were, did you say E5 level worker on for the US Coast Guard in layman's
I
terms?
spent a majority of my career as an E5. That's correct.
There
I
you
made
go.
it for very quick, and I got the privilege of retiring as an E6 out of.
Nope.
So, yeah, that might be a little too much identifying information. So,
I hope
but
not.
you already know about my last unit, so it doesn't really
If you think that is, I can bleep that out.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you want me to bleep that out, let me know and I'll bleep it out. That is 18 minutes, 17 seconds.
Cool. Sounds good. Please bleep that out.
Bleep. That's fine. Or I could just cut it. I can even cut this part of the chat, mate. It doesn't matter. That's fine. If you've gone too far, that's not a problem, mate. This is the beauty of a recording. I can go back and go and get rid of it.
All right. Yeah.
That won't be in the video. If that's what you want taken out, that's what will be taken out, mate. This is about you and you being
Yeah, I need to
Shown
get something off my chest.
you're a victim.
When I saw that,
Nope.
I believe was his name.
Hmm.
Um, I saw the MSST patch with that little black band around it. I
Right.
lost my shit because let's just call him BM1, okay? I had to bury him October
Oh, mate.
9th, 2019.
Oh, mate.
And for someone to say that's a bullshit photo, like, I'm sorry.
Nope.
Like, I'm sorry that you were led to believe that I was full of shit, but that's why I reached out.
Nope.
I had to end that right there. I did not want the hostility there.
Nope.
He's a good person.
Yes, he is. Have you squared that?
Nope.
Yeah, we squared that away.
Good.
Like,
Good, because this is
right
what
away.
this is the problem with what's happening, man. Is this guy's been running little circles around everybody, and everybody has just not quite talked to each other right, and he's gotten away
Yeah.
with this stuff until I've come and blown the lid off it, and then everyone's gone, oh,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
You know, like, his back end, we're not dumb. Like, let me get that clear. We are not stupid, but we are passionate, and passionate people will fucking overlook things.
I agree.
I know that from experience. And once you blew the lid off of it, we started doing our own fucking recon, and everything just came back like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm the first person that's really plugged around, and that was actually came apparent in a conversation that I had with him, because he said this has never happened to me before, and it's like, well, you're never going to know it's happened until it happens. Do you know what I mean? So no one's ever done this to him before. That's basically what I'm reading between the lines of that. No one snooped around.
Like, and we're having, and that's why that video is so fucking vague. Is like we are having to go back, verify, fact check, find fucking missing money, whatever it is that he's fucking gone and ran off with, and that's why this is all fucking vague. I am doing this. I'm going on the record for that community.
Yep.
Because they fucking deserve better.
Yeah. And this whole line that he's used your likeness to base Jack Knolsey's character is just bullshit, mate, I'm afraid. It is.
Yeah, like I've heard him rant about like you and me are one, and I was like, okay, like love you too, dude. But I just thought he was tripping or fucking drunk.
No.
And no,
Go,
like
go
he's just
back.
that shit fucking crazy.
I've furnished you with a link to the whole hour that I spoke to him. Go listen to it, mate. Go and listen to it.
I started to, and I had another event. Let's just say a health event.
Okay, put it on. Go and have a hot bath and put it on. Do you know what I mean? Chill out. Listen to it in a bath and just it's an hour long. Or I don't know. Don't do it when you're trying to sleep because it will just piss you off, mate. You want to go and listen to that when you've got an hour spare, mate, and just listen to the shit and the circles. The guy goes around and round and round and round in circles, mate. That phone call will be being released.
Okay.
I think before this one is.
That's fine, brother. And anything I need to do to clear my community, I'm not going to even say my community, the community, because it's everyone's name. Like they deserve better.
I would like that sub base and stuff to continue with you or someone else at the helm, because there's a good sub base there with a great idea for what you're trying to do. I would hate to see that flushed down the fucking Swanee because of this. You need to get those accounts and passwords off that man and out of his hands. That's what needs to happen.
We did that.
What, across all of it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now either you need to or someone needs to step up and front that channel properly and do it properly of what you based it, what you wanted, man, your dream. You don't need the bullshit accolades behind the character. You don't even need your accolades, mate. I have always marketed myself as a mid-tier old gamer that's not very good, bro, and I've done quite well.
Yeah,
I've never said I'm a pro. I've never said, do you know what?
No, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, I am part of Regiment, and I think that's what he fucking latched onto, and for the wrong fucking reasons. Like, I'm part of Regiment because of their community-oriented, policy. I'm part of Regiment because I want other veterans in my space, in my gaming space. I miss that camaraderie.
And that's where you need to be, mate. And people like him don't belong there. I'm in that Discord, mate, and I feel like a fraud, but I only went in there on fact finding.
Yeah.
And I feel like I shouldn't be in there, man. Do you know what I mean? But I'm allowed to be in there. I just feel like I shouldn't be. I feel like it should be just military only in there, like proper military only. Because I still don't see myself as proper military because I never passed basic training.
No,
But
you know what, Jerry, you have my blessing.
thank you, mate. That means a lot. That means a lot. I always feel
You
like
have
a
my
bit of a
blessing to be
fraud
in
with
there.
my.
You deserve to be in there as much as any of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And so on the record, a very close friend of mine, we started the Puddle Pirate portion of regiment. Like we were number 1 and 2. Like before that, they didn't even know that we were part of the military.
Oh really? That's crazy.
So like, and for him to take and fucking taint that fucking name, that these guys that picked me up when I was at my fucking worst. You know, I would come home
mate.
from a fucking deployment and immediately put my head in the computer and back online with all those guys that I was just on the fucking boat with.
Yeah.
And
that stuff he'll never know, mate. It's stuff he'll never know.
No, he and that's the thing, is he doesn't want to know that.
No, he doesn't. He just wants the Jimmy at the end.
He just wants the SOP, and that's the thing, is like you can't be all these things and an electronic technician.
No.
You know, like, or you can't just be MSRT, you can't just be MSST. You have to be vetted for those jobs. You have to be vetted for MFPU. Like all of those security jobs, you have to be vetted for. And that means having an established career before you go and do it.
Yeah, he just basically said it all fell into his lap. He was exceptional.
Yeah, no, if we're starting from the beginning, I was supposed to be a reservist. I went in with the intention of becoming a rescue swimmer. By the way, I'm 6'2". I'm 2 inches too tall for the airframe, and I get airsick.
Oh, mate.
So I was like, yeah, that's out the door. And I was like, where else can I rescue swim? They're like, any of our cutter forces have rescue swimmers. You can be any rate, doesn't matter. And I was like, okay, so figure this off my ASVAB. I already like electronics, the IT space, and that was my career choice. And they're like, hey, you can fire this giant cannon using a computer. And I was like, perfect. You know, and I'm dumb enough to re-enlist, right? I'm joking. Like, I wouldn't trade any of that time for anything in the world, and it was some of my most miserable times.
But I bet you had some of the best times as well where you were there, mate.
Yeah, and that you can't fake.
No, and the brotherhoods that you would have formed out on the waves and stuff like that, stuff that he has no knowledge of whatsoever, which is why all of his stories were they just didn't wash. None of them washed. Not with me, anyway.
Here's the thing. If you go into analytics, I've probably only watched 2 of his videos. They're just, like, to me, it was kind of cringy.
Yeah, I thought the same, mate.
I'm very anti-conflict. Like, and another thing about operating, by the way, is de-escalating.
Yeah, I guess you'd rather not fight than actually fight.
Exactly, and that's like the opposite of his fucking policy.
Oh yeah, mate. He's headbutt first. We'll ask questions after it's done. And it's
that's what hurt me the most. Is like I told him not to do that. I'm like, don't be a dick. Like, if you're gonna represent me, don't be a fucking dick to people.
It's clear misrepresentation, mate. And the fact of the matter is, mate, he was like that because he wasn't. He even knew he wasn't representing you. He was representing himself as Jack Knolsey.
Yeah.
You were senior chief, lower rank, behind me, below me. Even though he's basing everything off information garnered from your experiences. The guy who knows, as I said in my last video, he knows no bounds.
No, he will do what he needs to do to get his way. And again, I will say that he is probably the most fucking persistent person I've met.
I agree, mate. I believe your version of events. I really do. Having spoke to him and asked him his version of events first, and your version of events, both conversations here now are playing completely differently. There's no like coming from you. There's no. I hear no panic in your voice. You're calm. You're relaxed.
No, I immediately hit up his community to make sure everyone was okay.
Yeah, you're chill, mate. When I spoke to him, he He sounded like a squirrel that had learnt to talk or something with how he just going at me. I'm like, whoa, you want to chill? Do you know what I mean? He was just like completely on edge and umming and ahhing and not getting his sentences out properly and stuff. Whereas you are completely eloquent and absolutely fine. I don't believe you're lying in the slightest, and I don't think anybody listening to this video will think you're lying.
No, it's not hard to figure that out. Like, looking back at it, like, someone that's trying to hide something is going to behave that way.
Yeah.
Like, period. And fuck, man.
Yeah.
I wish I picked up on it sooner.
It is what it is, mate. I think if you basically barely interacted with the YouTube channel and trusted him to a degree to do what he said he was going to do, then why would you? Do you know what I mean? You've got other things that you're doing. It sounds like you've got like a lot of stuff going on in the background that we've spoke about off the record, and you're busy with that, mate. So you've trusted somebody to keep their word, mate. And basically, that's what I'm getting from all of you that I've spoke to in this community, is that you just took him at his word, and that's about as much guilt as you guys have got. Except for like, well, I don't know, because a lot of you didn't. A lot of the people behind the scenes didn't realise it was crap until yesterday when the video came out. And then, like, it seems like a whole domino effect has occurred since I dropped that video.
It needed to happen, Gary, and that's part of the reason I reached out to Glaz. Was I'm sending you my coin.
Yeah.
That's tradition, and that doesn't change, right? I knew 15 seconds into your video, I was like, and I the first thing I fucking did was try to find Ben. Try to make sure his community was safe. And if we need to blank that out, Ben, if you're listening, I'm sorry, but that was my only concern, was how many people have I fucking unintentionally hurt here.
Yeah, it's happened with a lot of people connected to this community, to be fair, mate. A lot of people that have left have reconvened outside of the community to apologise to each other.
All of us.
Yeah, it's mad. Like, you guys listening to this can't see it, but the amount of people that I've come across is staggering. It's got to be 20 or more people, I think, overall that I have spoken to. When I think about the size of the group chat we were in earlier, Mark, that was 9 of us alone.
They reached out to me individually as Jon continued to burn them.
Yeah, and there's more and more that weren't in that chat that I've spoken to in my inbox. Do you know what I mean? That haven't come into the Discords that we've been frequenting together, or the one Discord we've been in together. So there's a lot more than those 9 people, plus whatever else is on this Discord that we're both part of right now. The numbers are staggering, guys. But here, that's it. That's the truth behind the channel. This man, Marc, had a great idea to try and build a channel which was twisted and just warped by a con man known as Jon Mathis, who's been conning people for the best part of the last sort of 15 years, from what I can gather, from what I've seen. Whether that be fake cancer scares, fake weddings, or now this channel, which is the biggest one I think he's ever tried to do, and we've caught him. He's not very good at what he does, guys. Thank you, Marc, for being so open and frank, and thank you for telling your side of the story and being open. I'm going to cut this into a video. I'm going to edit out the little bits that we've discussed that you think is too much to be released, which is fine. That's your prerogative. This is your story that you're telling. That's it. Right, guys, I'm going to end this recording now and finish talking to Marc. I'm not just going to cut the call off, but yeah, all right, we'll call the recording there, mate. Shocking.